It was once the mightiest empire the world had ever seen. Rome, the eternal city, the beating heart of a civilization that spanned continents, conquered peoples, and shaped the foundations of the modern world. For over 1,000 years, the Roman Empire dominated the Mediterranean basin, influencing law, language, architecture, and governance in ways that still echo through time. But by 476 CE, the Western Roman Empire had collapsed, leaving behind a fractured world that would evolve into medieval Europe. At its height, the Roman Empire stretched from the misty highlands of Britain to the sun-baked deserts of Egypt, from the Atlantic coasts of Hispania to the banks of the Euphrates River in the Middle East. It united this vast territory with an extraordinary infrastructure, a network of over 250,000 miles of roads, aqueducts supplying water to cities, and a common currency. Latin and Greek served as lingua francas, facilitating communication across diverse cultures. A shared legal tradition, rooted in Roman civil law, helped bind the provinces together. In the 3rd century CE, the empire plunged into what historians call the crisis of the 3rd century, a period of political chaos, military anarchy, economic breakdown, and external invasion. Over a span of just 50 years, more than 24 emperors came and went, most of them violently overthrown or assassinated. Civil wars erupted frequently as rival generals competed for the throne. Provinces seceded and formed their own breakaway states, such as the Gallic Empire and Palmyrene Empire, further eroding imperial unity. The Emperor Diocletian, who came to power in 284 CE, enacted sweeping reforms to stabilize the empire. Most notably, he divided the empire administratively in 285 CE into the Western and Eastern Roman empires. This division was meant to make governance more efficient, but it also laid the groundwork for the eventual political divergence of the two halves. Diocletian's economic policies, including freezing wages and prices, failed to stem inflation and may have worsened economic stagnation. While the Eastern Empire, centered in Constantinople, enjoyed relative prosperity and stronger defenses, the Western Empire continued to face severe pressures. Its economy weakened under the weight of overtaxation, a declining agricultural base, and a debased currency. The Western Empire's cities shrank and trade diminished, contributing to a more localized rural economy. The traditional Roman aristocracy grew increasingly detached from public service, choosing instead to retreat to their vast rural estates. The floodgates opened. Over the next decades, tribes such as the Vandals, Alans, Suebi, and Ostrogoths moved into Roman lands, sometimes peacefully, sometimes violently. The sack of Rome in 410 CE by the Visigoths under Alaric I sent shockwaves across the known world. Rome, the eternal city, untouched by enemies for 800 years, had fallen. Though the Eastern Empire held firm, the West spiraled further into decline. In 439 CE, the Vandals captured Carthage, Rome's key North African city and its primary grain supplier. This was a critical economic blow. In 455 CE, Rome was sacked again, this time by the Vandals themselves. By the mid-5th century, emperors were often puppets, installed and deposed at the whim of military leaders. The western capital had already shifted from Rome to Ravenna, a more defensible location. But even this could not save the crumbling state. The final act came in 476 CE, when Odoacer, a Germanic chieftain and commander of the Roman army in Italy, deposed the last Western Roman emperor, Romulus Augustulus. A mere boy with little authority, Romulus was spared and sent into exile. Odoacer did not declare himself emperor. Instead, he sent the imperial insignia to Zeno, the Eastern Roman emperor, symbolizing the end of the Western throne. Though the Eastern Empire, later called the Byzantine Empire, would endure until 1453, the Western Empire was no more. Yet Rome's legacy lived on. The Roman Catholic Church, centered in the Vatican, became the spiritual successor to the empire, preserving Latin and many Roman ideals. Roman law influenced emerging legal systems. Latin evolved into the Romance languages, Italian, French, Spanish, Portuguese, and Romanian. Roman engineering and architecture inspired generations to come. Even Charlemagne, crowned Emperor of the Romans in 800 CE, claimed to revive the Roman tradition. The fall of the Western Roman Empire was not a single moment of collapse, but a slow transformation. 476 CE is a convenient date for historians, but Rome had been unraveling for centuries. Rather than vanishing, Rome adapted, evolved, and passed its legacy to the civilizations that followed. In this way, the Roman Empire never truly fell. It transformed into the foundations of the modern Western world.